I just came back from watching the press conference, and I'm gonna just say this, man. I feel bad for Shakur Stevenson because he's going to lose badly to Teofimo Lopez. I feel Teofimo Lopez is going to use this fight as a statement. This will be a statement fight for Teofimo. He's going to embarrass Shakur Stevenson. It will not be a close fight. When I say embarrass, I see that Teofimo Lopez will use this fight to show that other promoters and other establishments can use this fight as an example to pay Teofimo Lopez his fair share. I just don't see how Shakur Stevenson will beat.
I think Shakur Stevenson is a great fighter. I mean, hands down, I have a lot of respect for him. I think that Shakur is by far one of the greatest fighters now today.
When Oscar de la Hoya steps in front of a microphone, there is usually a motive behind it. He is a promoter, a businessman, and someone who understands how to shape headlines better than almost anyone the sport has ever seen. But on a recent episode of Club Shah Shah, the Golden Boy set that role aside and spoke strictly as a fighter. What he said sent shockwaves across the boxing world. He didn't simply compliment a rising champion. He committed what many would call heresy against the legends of the past. Oscar stared Shannon straight in the eye and declared that Shakur Stevenson is the greatest fighter he has ever seen. Not Floyd Mayweather. Not Manny Pacquiao. Not even himself. He pointed to the 28-year-old from Newark and called him the best to ever lace up gloves. On the surface, that sounds absurd. This is a sport still ruled by figures like Alexander Usyk, a man who unified divisions and toppled giants. We are also watching an era where Naoya Inoue dismantles opponents with surgical precision. Yet Oscar brushed all of them aside to elevate Shakur. Why would he do that? Especially when Stevenson may be the most criticized, polarizing, and boring champion holding a belt today. The answer lies in what Oscar sees inside the ring, something the average fan, screaming for knockouts and blood, completely misses. De La Hoya isn't focused on highlights. He's studying the matrix-level coding of a fighter who has, in theory, solved boxing.
Boxing is like Shakur in this way. Boxing got very bad, but it's getting good. But people don't give boxing that much room anymore. Because if boxing sucked for a minute, they'll say that's why boxing's dying. Or if a fight doesn't happen, it's like that's why I don't watch boxing anymore. There's no tolerance now. Shakur's performance in this last fight was actually pretty good. It's just the tolerance for Shakur's style is not even, he couldn't afford that performance. But the performance was pretty.
To understand why Oscar's claim carries real weight, you have to look past the social media hate and the empty seats. A narrative has followed Shakur Stevenson everywhere. That he's a runner. A safety-first boxer who would rather put a crowd to sleep than take risks. That label has damaged both his earnings and his pride. Fans have walked out before the final bell. Commentators have openly questioned his aggression. Even Oscar admitted Shakur has a serious issue. He doesn't know how to sell a show. But there is a massive difference between being a bad attraction and being a bad fighter. Oscar's argument is that while Shakur may struggle at the box office, he is an absolute nightmare for anyone trying to hit him. That mastery was fully exposed in his recent dismantling of William Zepeda. Going into that fight, critics were excited. Zepeda was supposed to be the answer, the relentless pressure fighter, the volume puncher who would suffocate Shakur and deny him space. Many believed Zepeda would force a war or expose Shakur's lack of power.
Hey, what's up, guys? So here's my expert opinion on Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda, Saturday night, Ring Magazine event. It's going to be incredible, New York. All right, Shakur Stevenson, what type of fighter is he? Exactly like Floyd Mayweather, okay? He knows how to box, beautiful footwork, stands up straight, shoulder roll, all that good stuff, right? Has a beautiful jab, right? Pop shots you with the right hand. Well, guess what? Floyd Mayweather lost against Jose Luis Castillo, which reminds me of William Zepeda, okay? But throws more punches. So think about this. Floyd, I believe, had brittle hands. Shakur Stevenson has brittle hands. If William Zepeda keeps coming forward, throws punches, is very careful with side-to-side movements with his head. Keeps throwing that jab because this shell here cannot block a jab to save your life. Throw to the body, throw to the chest, pin him in the corner, and just keep throwing punches and bunches. William Zepeda has probably the best output in boxing. So I got William Zepeda by decision or even a stoppage against Shakur Stevenson. And I love Shakur Stevenson. He's a great guy.
What happened instead felt unreal. Shakur became a ghost. He didn't flee. He stood his ground, stayed in the pocket, and slipped punches by inches, making a world-class challenger look like he was swinging underwater. That performance validated everything De La Hoya was saying. It proved Shakur's style isn't rooted in fear. It's built on a level of distance control rarely seen since the prime of Pernell.
But Shakur did his thing. I think the first half was Zepeda's, the second half was Shakur. You have to give it up to him. So
could you say probably this would be the fight of the year? I mean, it was a back and forth. We didn't expect that.
Yeah, it was good. It was back and forth. It was a great show. Yeah, it was a great.
Out of here. We're out of here.
Oh, you out of here?
It's the next one over here. All right, Oscar, what would be next for Zepeda after this, and obviously for Shakur?
Yeah, back to the drawing board, But he's, one loss is nothing. One loss against a really good fighter like Shakur doesn't mean anything. You bounce back from it, and that's what boxing is. My friend. We're gonna see Zepeda. Yes, of course.
What stood out the most for you for Zepeda in this one? What stood out the most? I feel like he threw a little bit more power punches, he looked a little bit more crisp.
He threw a lot more punches, but the one thing about Shakur is that the punches he lands are very effective. So those are, they're just great for the scoring, But I think overall it was a good fight. I think it was another great experience for Zepeda. You just grow and learn. That's it. Back to
De La Hoya specifically praised Shakur's smooth style and elite technique, pointing out that he owns boxing's holy trinity: power, a strong chin, and sharp eyes. But the true source of Shakur's invincibility is his sense of distance. It's almost mechanical. He knows exactly how far to lean back so a hook barely brushes his face, setting up an instant counter. That precision traps opponents in a mental cage. When you throw 10 punches and hit nothing but air, your confidence disappears. Hesitation creeps in, and the moment you hesitate against Stevenson, the fight is essentially over. He breaks fighters down with a jab that fires like a piston, all without breaking a sweat. This is what Oscar meant. It isn't about excitement, it's about perfection. The timing of Oscar's praise is also important, because boxing's hierarchy has shifted dramatically. With the announcement of Terrence "Bud" Crawford's retirement, the pound-for-pound throne is now open. Usyk has a strong case after conquering the heavyweight division, but his own journey is nearing its end. The future belongs to the lighter weights, and this is where Oscar sees the opening. He knows casual fans crave wars, but purists are watching Shakur and seeing dominance that defies statistics. He has barely lost a single round as a professional. Think about that. In a sport defined by chaos, Shakur Stevenson has nearly erased randomness.
People will say style-wise, Teddy, style-wise, is this going to be a great fight? I don't know if it will. I mean, style-wise, I could see you having a little reservations, whether or not these guys will make for dynamite, they will make, for electricity. I don't know if they will, but I tell you what they will make for. Two skillful fighters, two talented fighters, two fighters that are at a high skill level that will compete in the sweet science. I mean, Shakur showed aggression in his last fight against Zepeda, being elusive while being aggressive, walking them down, fighting on the inside, boxing well, still being able to counter, still being able to control space, but also be able to go into tight quarters and not be afraid to show that he's good on the inside too, that he can make you miss and make you pay outside and inside. Shakur showed that. That was great. That was great, and people applaud him. I applaud him. We were sitting there ringside. I was sitting there actually with your sister, ringside, watching that fight. And it was a terrific performance. Shakur showing that dimension, showing that attitude, showing that competitiveness, showing that dog like people like to show or like to talk about, and they wanted to see in Shakur. Well, they saw it.
But hidden within Oscar's praise was a warning, a subtle reminder that even a near-perfect fighter can have a fatal flaw. Oscar said Shakur needs confidence, but not courage. He meant belief in his own star power. He explained that Shakur's struggles at the gate come from not fully trusting his ability to entertain. It's a psychological barrier. Shakur fights to avoid losing instead of fighting to destroy. De La Hoya, once the king of pay-per-view, understands that greatness requires more than technical brilliance. You have to capture the imagination of the public. You can't just be a scientist. You must also be a magician. Until Shakur learns to blend his flawless defense with calculated risks taken for the crowd, he will remain a boxer's boxer, respected by experts, but ignored by the masses.
When Floyd fought Shane Mosley, like where he pushed and all 12 rounds, he felt that Shane couldn't fight on his back foot as well and can break him mentally a little bit. So maybe Shakur thinks I could maybe bully him. I mean,
and this is the thing. Once a fighter catches this groove, once a boxer catches this groove, it's gonna be hard to time him, to catch his timing, to get away from shots. Right? When a boxer hits a flow state, he starts to destroy. For instance, Floyd Mayweather or Toro Gotti. So whether Toro pressed the action, Floyd was lighting them up. Whether Floyd pressed the action, Floyd was lighting them up. You know, it didn't matter in that term. So if anybody has the opportunity to do that, it's Shakur, right? We want to get to that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to see from Shakur, man. I want to see him be able to execute moving forward, right? And the rest will take care of it.
That leads us to the ultimate test. All the praise, criticism, and Oscar's bold claims will be put on the line on January 31st. The upcoming showdown with WBO champion Teofimo Lopez is the perfect storm. Teofimo is the complete opposite of Shakur. He's emotional, explosive, unpredictable, and undeniably powerful. He is the takeover, a fighter who feeds on chaos and thrives in the spotlight. This is the classic clash of order versus chaos. For Shakur, this is more than another title defense. It's a legacy-defining moment. If he can do to Teofimo what he did to Zepeda, if he can neutralize that explosive power and make Lopez look amateurish, then Oscar de la Hoya will look like a prophet.
You guys had the press conference last week and the face-to-face and all that stuff. What did you make of his vibe there? The face-off was interesting, and some of the things that he was saying at the press conference was interesting. What did you make of his vibe overall?
I think something mentally wrong with him. I don't think he's like all the way there mentally. I think he's crazy.
Legit?
That's my opinion. Yeah, I think he's legit crazy. I think something really wrong with him, but that's what make him dangerous. I think them the guys is the most dangerous people. Them delusional, crazy people who want to be the best and want their spot at greatness. So I gotta respect it, but I think something is definitely off with him.
Who were you talking to there off to the side? Was that his dad?
Yeah, I'm talking to his dad, yep.
And what was he saying to you?
His dad said that he was going to beat me. He said that I'm too little and all that kind of stuff, so I can't wait to show him.
And what were you saying back?
I was letting him know he can't. You can't fight for him. He the guy that got to fight. So when I see him, let's see what he do.
Is this more about fighting Teofimo, a big fight like this, or a four-weight world champion?
It's more so a four-weight world champion. My legacy is more so about that. It ain't really just T.O. T.O. got the accomplishments of a big accolade fighter. He was undisputed at 135, which they say he wasn't, but I know he was. Then he moved up to 140 and got the belt at 140. So it's more so to fight a fighter with this much accolades and become the best.
The stakes on January 31st couldn't be higher because boxing is currently trapped in a power vacuum. The sport is searching for its next face. Gervonta Tank Davis has knockouts and star presence, but his activity is inconsistent. Devin Haney has elite skills, but lacks a massive following. Shakur Stevenson exists in a strange middle ground, holding all the talent in the world, yet very little love. Oscar's comments have placed a target on Shakur's back by calling him the greatest ever. The bar has been raised to an impossible height. Now, simply winning isn't enough. If Shakur coasts to a dull 12-round decision against Teofimo, fans will revolt regardless of the scorecards. He has to prove he can be the best in a way that matters to the people paying to watch.
That's that power is speed.
Right.
So, could it be a situation where people underestimate Shakur's punching power?
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. You know what I mean? I think he can punch. It's just like I said, speed is power. You know, not them guys, muscle-bound guys come in and they talking about, oh, he can punch and all that. Like I just got finished saying, like you just got finished saying, matter of fact, the punch that you don't see knocks him out. And they always say, man, I didn't see that punch coming. That's the one you worry about for. I mean, then you got to look at this. Shakur, he got speed. He got speed. He a technician, man. He know what he doing, man. I can't take nothing away from Tio. Tio's a good fighter too. You know what I mean? He's a good fighter. But I think Shakur is way above him.
Is this going to be the performance that shuts the haters up? Because everybody always talking about who Shakur didn't fight, didn't look good against or whatnot.
Yeah, but they always say he didn't fight nobody. That's like with Booth there. They were somebody before they fought him, and then once they beat him, or he was supposed to beat him, and all that. So I don't even talk to them people like that no more. I don't even talk. Oh wait, Booth was supposed to be. Man, I ain't got nothing to say to y'all guys, man. Cause y'all double talk, man. You know what I mean? You say one thing and then you say another. You know what I mean? So I think that with Shakur, do what he's supposed to do.
Ultimately, De La Hoya's breakdown of Shakur Stevenson reflects the sport of boxing itself. It forces us to question what we truly value. Do we value the sweet science, the art of hitting without being hit, the pursuit of technical perfection, or do we just want two fighters to stand in the center of the ring and trade damage for entertainment? Oscar, a man who gave fans some of the bloodiest wars in history, appears to side with the scientists. He doesn't see Shakur as boring. He sees him as boxing's evolution, a fighter who has solved the puzzle so completely that dominance looks effortless.
You know what he bringing to the ring? Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm gonna get mine when I get mine and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting nothing. So look, y'all might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This gonna be one hell of a technical battle that I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see this battle. Oh yeah. Yeah, because what y'all gonna witness is, I'm gonna tell you right now what you're gonna witness. You're gonna witness fundamentals, great fundamentals, versus that explosive stuff. You know what I'm saying? That explosive stuff. So like, let me give you a prime example. Not to this degree, but Tonio Tarver, Roy Jones. Tarver had them fundamentals down. Roy didn't. Had them fundamentals down. Now, I understand what happened. Now, yeah, look, if Teofimo Lopez, he get out of line and he want to run in there that fire and he get his behind caught, just like Norman Jr. got his behind caught, talking about, oh, he can't punch. Oh, he can find himself picking himself off of the canvas too. Yeah, talking about Shakur can't punch. I don't see many guys just running in there on Shakur. But anyways, look, y'all already know what it is. Precision, timing, right? Hitting the dude when he don't see something coming. That's power. Or hitting the dude when he coming in. That's power. Yeah, that's...
Whether you love him or hate him, Shakur Stevenson is on the verge of wiping out his generation. He has already silenced names like Oscar Valdez, Jamal Herring, and now William Zepeda. If he adds Teofimo Lopez to that resume on January 31st, the debate essentially ends. You don't have to enjoy his style. You don't have to buy his merchandise. But if he continues making world champions look like beginners, respect becomes unavoidable. Oscar De La Hoya has placed his bet on the Newark tactician, claiming he surpasses the legends of the past. In just a few weeks, we'll find out whether the Golden Boy is a visionary, or simply stirring the pot one last time. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss what's next. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and we'll catch you in the next one.